Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can see you.
Perfect. You can hear me as well, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So, how are you guys? It's not a lot of people today. We had about 35 odd people yesterday, but yeah, that's fine. Even if it's one, it's the same thing. I'll be doing the same presentation. Uh, let's wait a little bit more and see. So until we start, I'll just probably introduce myself and so that you guys know who I am if you don't know about me. So my name is Chaminda Tenekun. I'm based in London. We have this company, a social media company, where we help people do the branding and get across multiple channels on social media. So that's what we do. I have a team. Most of my team members are based in Sri Lanka, and currently I am in Sri Lanka, and it's 4:30 a.m. in Sri Lanka as well. But because I promised Lucas that I'm going to do this, yeah, I'm doing this anyway. So that's about me. Let's jump into the presentation, I guess. Maybe we'll wait another couple of more minutes if that's okay. Yeah. Because yesterday as well, the same, not a lot of people joined in the first few minutes, but yeah, they're joining now. So where are you guys from? US, I guess, most of you guys, and you guys are from the EMF, EMT, and MBS groups, right? Yeah, Peter's age. Perfect. So you guys got a course already set up? You can unmute and talk, that's fine. We'll have a little chat before we start, and then we'll start in about 2-3 minutes time. So Agnes, you don't have a course yet?
Huh?
Do you have a course ready?
Do you have a course? What? I don't get it. What did you say? Close?
Do you have a course?
Call. Yeah, call.
A course to sell. So what do you do?
Course. Okay. Yeah, I'm an EMT, EMF graduate also. So
Okay.
I'm looking on doing social media.
Perfect. That's great. Kat, so what's your course about? I can't really see. Let me just put my glasses.
I have to do the same thing. Yeah, EMT. I'm selling EMF. I'm trying to get going on Facebook, and I've had a few people bite, but then they don't show up to the actual calls. So it's just kind of getting it off the ground.
Perfect. And we got Amy, Evelyn, Eddie. Hi, Amy.
Hi, sorry, I've not put my camera on. I'm in the UK. It's midnight here. I'm in my pajamas.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I can understand.
But yeah, I'm in the UK, and yeah, I'm an EMF graduate.
So whereabouts in the
and
UK are you based?
Cheshire. I'm kind of on the Cheshire-Wales border and only
Okay.
a few miles from the Shropshire border, near Whitchurch, sort of between
Right. Yeah,
Whitchurch and Wrexham. So
I love the
Yeah.
breakfast in South Wales. The big, lovely breakfast when I go there.
oh yeah. You can't beat a good breakfast.
Hi, Cindy. All good?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi
So-
from New Zealand,
You're from New Zealand. Okay, what time is it in New Zealand now?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. Not too bad. It's 4:30 a.m. In Sri Lanka.
Oh, thank
in-
you for being early.
No, because I got this arranged before I flew to Sri Lanka, so I thought I'll just do it anyway. So yeah, all good. So let's start the presentation without delaying it further. I think we've got plenty to start with. Let me just share my screen. We will have question round. So after everything, we'll go back to questions, and then you can ask any questions you have. So I think that's probably the best way. Hopefully my internet is gonna work better than yesterday today. So can you guys hear me? Everything clear? Can you see the screen? All good?
Yes.
Can someone confirm? Cindy, is that okay? Can you see the screen and hear me?
Yes, we can. Sometimes the internet's a little bit intermittent, but I can generally hear you and see the screen.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank you. Perfect. Okay, let's move on. So what we will cover. The first thing, online presence, what is on? I think it's a little slower. Let's see if we can do something about the connection. The connection, maybe that's they'll be better. Anyway, so let me know if you can't hear, just put something on the chat or something, and then I will slow down or maybe come back to what you guys missed. Can you guys hear me now? Is that okay? Better? Yeah, good. Okay.
Yes.
Let's go. Online presence. Why is online presence so important? Because most of us, when we first start and get going, no one knows us, right? Obscurity is the biggest problem. So we need to get rid of this. We need to get ourselves out, and then we need to get some branding done, and we need to get people to know us. So the only way to for them to get to know us is by being present online. So becoming omnipresent, basically. So we're going to cover that. And then content strategy. So when it comes to content, basically it's the posts on this one. We are going to touch up on what type of posts, what different types that you can do, and how to create posts quickly and things like that. And then the next one is video strategy. How can we create videos that are engaging? Engagement is the most important thing, right? So without engagement, you can't get through to your clients. Once you get through to the clients, then it's easy to build the trust and then go to the closing stages. So that's why video strategy is important. Then we talk about engaging, how to engage, then building connections. So this is a process. It's not just, you get someone who's interested in your post or your video, and then you try to sell to that person. That's not the way it works. There is a process that you need to follow, and then if you follow the process properly in the correct order, then you will end up selling without any problem. So then we come to the connections, and after the connections is closing. So closing, in the closing, you have the sale, the selling, the pitching, or the offer, and the pitching and the selling, and then the closing, right? And then finally, we're going to have a Q&A session. So that's what we're going to cover today. It's going to be about an hour or so. I'm going to try and cover in about an hour. And then after that, I'm going to give you guys a free gift, right? So it's, I will come to that later. And then after that, we're going to have a Q&A session. Okay, online presence, marketing commandments. I share this in the group, so you guys probably have seen it now, and you probably have heard before. So marketing commandments are very important when it comes to marketing. As long as you keep these in your mind all the time, you will do it properly. So can you guys maybe put some on the chat or something, maybe type some on the chat? Money follows attention is one. Becoming omnipresent is another one. What else? Best known beats the best. Internet connection. Okay. Assume no one saw your ad. This is a very big one. This is a very interesting one. So the idea is, if when we post something, we think, okay, everyone's seen it. But that's not the case. No one is interested in other people's posts, right? They're all interested in their posts, their content. So most of the time, they don't see our posts. And we have to assume that no one saw our posts. So we need to repost them every once in a while, not the same thing over and over. Even if you do that, it's not a big deal, because people feel like guilty to repost the same thing. But the idea is to get attention. The idea is to get some sort of attention, because another marketing commandment comes into play. What is attention is the biggest, the most valuable currency in marketing. So you need to get the attention. Without attention, you can't get anywhere. So what we are trying to do here is get people's attention, right? So for that, we need to keep posting. We need to be consistent. We need to be across multiple channels. And then they will see us. Okay, wherever they go, they're like, oh, this person is here, this person here. Wherever I go, I see this person or their post or their brand. So that's why we need to make sure we follow these marketing commandments. And another one is frequency comes before greatness. That's another marketing commandment. So frequency is very important. You have to frequently keep posting your stuff, and no one thing you say will blow a deal. So don't worry about what you say when it comes to, even when it comes to a closing, when it comes to communicating. No one thing you say will blow a deal. So don't worry about what you say, because so most of the time what we do is we overthink about certain things, and then we are scared about losing a client. But you have already lost a client if you don't communicate, if you don't engage, right? There is no sale without engagement, without a closing. So rather than assuming no close, if you try to close them, if you try to engage with them and communicate with them and ask questions, there are hard questions that you can ask, such as why not? Why would you not buy this kind of thing? So there are certain questions that you can ask. I'm sure you've followed people like Grant Cardone, where they focus on these hard questions. So this is good to know these marketing commandments. When you know these, when you work knowing all this, then it's easier for you to get the attention. And you need to always keep in your mind that your ultimate objective is generating revenue for your business. So for you to generate revenue for your business, you need to provide value. So focus on providing value, and it will generate revenue. Don't focus on the money when you're pitching, when you're closing. I'll get to the closing later. So let's go step by step. So therefore, you need to become omnipresent. So when you become omnipresent, when you're all over the place, wherever they go, it could be TikTok, it could be YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, they will see you. And then they'll like, wow, this person must be big. So you will look bigger, or your brand will look bigger than you actually are. So that's why you need to become omnipresent. So for that, you need to have multiple channels. So having one channel, being on one channel is not enough. So if you have a Facebook account or a Facebook page, it's better to have an Instagram along with it. And then you can connect those two together as well. And then you can schedule those, whatever you're posting on Facebook, to be shown on Instagram as well. We'll get to that. So therefore, you need to try and have multiple channels. I'll tell you how to minimize the time of spending on Facebook or on all your social media channels. But for now, we need to know that we have to have at least 4 channels. Another reason why we need that is when we have a few channels, we can find out where our dream clients are. Because otherwise, we might think, oh, our dream clients are on Facebook, but they might be on TikTok or on LinkedIn. So if we start posting on different channels and then we figure out, okay, we figure out that they're on LinkedIn most of the time, then we can focus more on LinkedIn. So the idea is to find out where our dream clients are and focus more on that. For that, we need to test all the channels. And then we go to testing, quality, and consistency. So when it comes to testing, you test all the channels, different channels, platforms, and test your content. Test the timings, and test like the fonts and the sizes of the fonts and the colors that you're using, color schemes. So you keep testing them, and then until you get to know, okay, these are working better and these are not working as good as these. So whatever works better, you need to do more of what works best. And that's a marketing commandment. Repeat success actions. So that's what you're doing, right? And you need to keep the quality. You have to have some sort of quality so that when they see your content, it's like, oh, this is good quality. This person or this business must be professional. These people must be really good, right? Then consistency, because if you keep posting, that's when they see. They're not going to be on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram 24/7. So whenever they go, if you keep posting consistently, they're going to end up seeing your posts or videos. That's why you need to be consistent. And then when they see over and over again, that's when you get their attention. Otherwise, they're not gonna, you're not gonna get their attention. Most of the time, that's what happens. If you see something, you're gonna ignore it until you see the same thing over and over again. Connecting channels. Connecting channels, as in the idea of this is most of my clients, when they start or when they come to us, what happens is they have a LinkedIn account, LinkedIn profile. In the LinkedIn profile, it says something else. They have a job or blah, blah, blah. And then on the Facebook page, they have a business. So it's not consistent. So that's not very good. You need to be consistent. You have to have everything, all the platforms or all the social media platforms that you're using have to have the same details, so that if they go to your Instagram page or Facebook page or TikTok or LinkedIn or Twitter or YouTube account, they have to see that you're the same person. So you can't say, okay, I'm a mindset coach in one place, and then on the other one you say I'm an accountant, and on the other one you say something else. So that's not very consistent, and that's not very good. And that happens to a lot of people because we tend to forget to update things. We change our mind. Sometimes you start with one course and end up with another course, right? I've been there, I know how it is. So that's why we need to, okay, once we decide, okay, this is what I'm going to go with, then you need to update all the channels and link all the channels. Link as in you have to, on your YouTube channel, in your description, you have to say, okay, if you want to join my community, or if you want to join my, so you need to know where your dream clients should end up in. For example, or maybe on your website, maybe register to your newsletter or something, subscribe to your newsletter, maybe on your funnel or a Facebook group. It could be one thing. So you decide what it is. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as they all end up. So you direct them to that one place. Then you can serve them there. So you can pitch your products or services in there. Otherwise, what happens is you will have to do it everywhere. It's very hard. So the idea of having multiple channels is to drive, it's like a funnel, but you're driving everyone to one place. And then in that place is where you give the value and where you build up the connections, trust, and then you pitch your product and do the sale. So on your YouTube channel, on the description, you put, okay, this is my Instagram page. If you want to go follow me on Instagram, this is it. And this is my Twitter, this is my LinkedIn, blah, blah, blah. So you have all the details. Similarly, on Facebook, on your Facebook page, you do the same. On your Twitter, you do the same. On your LinkedIn, you do the same. So that's the idea of connecting channels. And then that brings the connection getting bad. Sorry about that. So yeah, so that gives a lot of traffic into one place. They bring the traffic into one place. So that's the idea of that, right? That helps the SEO as well. So content strategy, is that all good so far? Is that okay? Clear? Okay, perfect. I'm not sure if I'm losing the connection every now and then. I'm sorry about that if that happens. It's not as good as the UK. Sri Lankan Wi-Fi is not very good. So content strategy, content creation. So when it comes to content creation, you have to create different types of content. It's not just, you know, one type of posts, right? You have to create different types. When I say different types, it could be, you could be giving value. That's one type. And then you could be talking about your business, talking about your product or service, whatever you're providing. If it's a course, you're talking about the course. That's one thing. And then the next one is giving a lot of value. And another way is asking questions. So asking questions gives you clarity of what other problems they have. And then you can combine them into your course as well, and then start serving, because sometimes what we think is not exactly what they have as a problem. So the more questions you have, the better it gets, because then you can serve more people that way. What else? And you can have polls. So many people engage in polls when you have a poll. So that's a good way of doing it. And then you can have just like a caption, rather than having a picture or video, nothing. You just say something, and then you can have a story every now and then, or maybe change your story every couple of days, and that will get them to see your story. Okay, this is what I'm gonna give today, or something like that. So these will help you. The plan in the content is also important. When you're creating content, if you plan well in advance, you can plan it in a way that they have some sort of link. So you create something, say, for example, you're giving value. So you say, okay, I'm going to talk about this topic, or you are talking about one topic now, but you say in there that you're going to talk about this topic next. So they know that, okay, this is coming next. And then you can have an order of scheduling the content. So say if you're talking about your course, you have 20 topics. You talk about the first topic first and then the second one. So you go on in the same order. So you have, it's all planned rather than, random stuff, putting it up and down. So that doesn't make sense to them. So if you have an order, they will be like, oh, wow, this makes sense. So they will start following you. The idea is for them to follow you. So for them to follow you, you need to keep giving value and you need to make sense so that they can follow you. Then you can schedule them. Most of these platforms gives you the opportunity to schedule them. So you don't have to be there every single day. So for example, YouTube, you can schedule the YouTube videos. Once they're all done, you can schedule it for the rest of the month if you want to. And Facebook does the same thing on the Facebook page. You can schedule them for whenever you want to, whenever you want them to appear. And when you're scheduling, you can also do the testings. So for different time frames, for example, oh yeah, timing comes next. So you have to test the different timings because your dream clients or your ideal clients might be in a different area. For example, most of my clients are from the US, although I am based in the UK. So therefore, I need to make sure my content is shown when the people in the US are awake, right? So that's something that you need to keep in mind. And then you can change the timings and then see how it works. Sometimes you think, okay, sometimes you think this is the right time, but it might not be the right time. So when you keep changing things, you will understand, okay, this is the best time, kind of thing. And formats, also the formats, when it comes to the font or the color or whatever you're using, change the formats. Sometimes the format might work, some of the formats might work better. So you use what is working better and then repeat the same formats. So this is also the testing the content. So you change in the formats, change in the timings. So this is testing content and make sure you test every single time and then keep a record so you know, okay, this is working better. And then, yeah, of course, doing what works. Video strategy. So this is a little bit different from the posts. First of all, most of the people, when they first start recording, they struggle, right? They have this fright or they struggle to, talk. What they want to talk that doesn't just come out. So that's one problem. So for that, you need to become comfortable, right? Practicing will make you better, but at the same time, there is something that I normally do. When you're talking to someone, focus on that person more than yourself, because what we normally do is we think about how we look like when we are talking in the camera. And another thing we do is when we're on the selfie mode, we look at us. So now we are watching us moving and the focus is on us more than the ideal client. So that's not a good idea. So therefore, most of my recordings, when I do the recordings, well, initially I did that most of the time. I turn the camera the other way around, so I can't see the selfie. So now I'm looking at the camera, so I'm focusing on my dream client rather than myself. So that's another way of doing it. Always give value. So focus on the dream client and focus on their problems and how to solve their problems and give value. Giving value is always the best way to connect with people and build the trust. Most of the time, what we try to do is we talk about our products and the features. That's not the way to, because people are not interested in us or our products. People are interested in them and how they can solve their problems. So they like to hear more about how they can solve the problems rather than you or your features or your product's features. So try to focus on them, their problems, and how to solve their problems, and then you will get their attention. Speak to their hearts. most of the time, you guys, what you're doing now is probably something that you guys went through. So if it's a mess to a message, most of the time, if it's a course that you're doing, maybe you went through a tough or rough time, and then you overcame that, and now you're on top, and now you want to help people overcome that same problem. So if that's the case, so you're bridging the gap, right? So if that's the case, you have to go back and think how you were thinking back then, 5 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, and then you will come across all the problems you had, what kept you awake at night, and then you can answer those questions. So then you resonate with your dream clients, and then you connect with them. Then you can speak with them really well. And that's when you build the trust. Once the trust is built, then it's easy to close. Speak to their hearts, yeah. And then movements as in when you're doing a video, this YouTube and YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels, they work a lot better because these are videos shorter than 1 minute long. So when it's short and these, you get a lot of engagement because they show it to everyone, not just the people who are following you. So you get the opportunity to show your videos to others as well. So if they like you, or if they like what they're seeing or hearing, they will follow you. So that this is an opportunity. So use this, and it'll give you a lot of opportunity to get in contact with other people. But coming back to movements, when you're doing the videos, try to move a little bit rather than, you know, standing still in one place, because then it's less attention. You get less attention when you're not moving too much. But if you're walking and then you're having you're carrying a selfie stick or something, and then you're talking to it, then it's, you see the movement, and then you get the attention much better. Yeah, shorts and reels, yeah, and building a following. How to build a following is by becoming omnipresent, by posting consistently. And if you keep doing it, and then these the algorithm starts working. But for that, you need to make sure you post every single day on YouTube. If it's YouTube, make sure you do this for a certain period of time, and then you will get the following. Once you get the following, the first period is the hardest part. So the first month or two, you're going to get almost no one. But after that, you will start getting some traction, you will get some followers, and then you build up, and then they will come in bundles. So it becomes so much easier once you get to a certain state. But the first period is like going to a gym, right? You have to keep going, and then you will see no results in the first few weeks. But after a few months, then you will see the results. So it's the same way. When you're doing videos, have some call to action. You can ask them to do something. If you don't have a call to action, they will not take action. So if you say, okay, comment on my video, ask questions, or say, you can give 2 answers and say, okay, which one would you like most? This one or this one? Or what do you think? Or you can ask questions like that, or say, comment on my video, and what would you like to hear next, kind of thing. Then they will come back. The idea of this is when you ask questions, when they comment, then you can engage with them. The idea is to get the engagement. So if you don't ask questions, they will look at your video, they will view it, and then you're not going to know who viewed it, and then you're not going to be able to connect with them. So for you to connect, you have to start asking questions and communicating with them. And connect content. So this is the same thing, like on when we were doing posts, right? You create one video, and then you say, okay, I'm going to do this one next. So this is going to be tomorrow or the week next week or something, and then they will be looking forward to watching your next video. And then when you're doing the next video, you can say, okay, you talk about one topic, and you say, okay, I did a video about this last week. If you have not watched it, I've got the link below, or you share the link somewhere, and then you say, watch that too. And then they will, if this is good, they will go and look at the other one as well. And then they will connect with you if they think these are all good. So it's better to connect everything together, then you will get more people engaging with you, more people following you. So engaging content. So for people to engage, they have to connect, right? So for that, you need to know your ideal client really well. So if you haven't dig deeper into your ideal client, you have to dig deeper. You have to go into your niche. You need to have proper clarity on this. Yesterday, we had a few people who were not sure about their course. So this is something that you need to do. If you haven't done the 7 levels deep, it's better to go dig deeper into the, your niche and narrow it down. The broader it is, the harder it will be for you to get some clients into you. Because if you say, I'm a mindset coach, why would they come to you? But if you say, instead of saying I'm a mindset coach, you say, I coach ladies between 35 and 40 who are unmarried, who are not working. Then if someone sees this and if that resonates with them, they will be like, oh, this is me. So then they're more likely to come to you. So that's why it's better to go narrow it down. But later you can, slowly make it bigger if you like. But when you start up, it's always best to narrow it down and start with a very narrow niche. And similarly, the ideal client, you need to know about the ideal client, what they think about, what the problems they have, so that you can talk to them, talk to their heart. That's why. So connecting with their problems. So when you talk about their problems, that's where they connect. That's where they think, this person knows me, because that's what they want to hear. That's what they want to know. So if, for example, say, your ideal client is a father who lost a child, for example. If you talk about that person, then I'm like, oh, this is me. This person knows something, and this is the same person like me. So they will connect better, right? So that's the idea. And be creative. Don't just do one thing. Maybe you can share quotes to do with your ideal client, jokes to do with your ideal client, always to do with your ideal clients, and polls and stories. Maybe a lovely story that you want to share with your ideal clients so that they will connect. And again, when you're doing this, test and see what works better. And if something works, say quotes work better, use them more. And maybe the jokes might not work better. So then if that's the case, you can try 1 or 2 jokes, and if it doesn't work, just take them out, right? Using tags and hashtags. So these can be generated using artificial intelligence as well. So, so this makes it easier, like using like Chat GPT or something, and create these and use them, because this is how you get the algorithms to work. Another thing is comment, reply, and engage. So when it comes to commenting, when someone comments on your posts, you have to reply to them, you have to engage with them. Also, you have to, when you see your ideal clients, and if you go to a group of people, or if you join a group, maybe a Facebook group or something, when you see your ideal client, if you identify a person sharing something and you think, oh, this is my ideal client, you need to start liking their posts and commenting on their posts and providing value in their posts as well. Then they will be like, you don't even have to create a post to do that, right? You can just go into their posts and then start commenting on their post, and they will be like, wow, this person is providing so much value. And if you keep doing it consistently, they might even start following you. So that's how you get the connections to work. So not just worry about your posts and videos, but because people like to see other people commenting. When you post something, sometimes you want to see how many people have liked it, how many people have, commented on it. The more people you see, the better, right? So the same way, other people want to see who's commented on their posts as well. So if you go comment on their posts, they will start looking up, oh, who's this person? He or she has been commenting on my posts in the last few weeks. So it will take some time, but this takes some time. The idea is to build the connection, right? Providing information and value. So when you're commenting, try not to just say, I like this, or this is beautiful, but say something more. Give something valuable in the when you are commenting on something. So if they're saying, oh, I struggle to do this, or I'm struggling with my kid, or I'm struggling to, keep up with my expenses or whatever. So when you're commenting, you need to give some insight as to how to, make use of your knowledge, basically. Then they will be like, oh, this person knows what he's talking about, kind of thing, right? Consistency, be there, don't ignore. So if someone comments or asks a question, make sure you answer, and answer as soon as you can. Don't leave it for a few days. Then they'll be like, oh, this person is not very engaging, kind of thing. Okay, let's move on. Can you guys still hear? Is that all good? The internet, is that okay? Yeah, good, thanks. Right, building connections. So authenticity is very important when it comes to building connections, because people like to see the real person. They don't want to communicate with a business, right? So therefore, communicate using your profile. That helps a lot. There was a question asked in the group as well, what to use, whether to communicate using a Facebook page or Facebook profile is better. It's always better to use the profile, because they like to communicate with a person. They don't want a business, right? Engaging with others, liking and sharing. Like if you like something and share something, they'll be like, oh, this person is good. He or she is sharing my content. So you need to make them like you. So the way you make other people like you is by liking them. Like, the dog. Everyone loves a dog. Why? Because the dog loves everyone. That's the idea, right? Post inside engaging groups. So this is a very good way to connect with people, right? There are so many groups on Facebook, but most of them are dead. So don't go to a group that's got millions of people, but no one is engaging, or everyone's trying to market something. But go to a group where they share a lot of knowledge, information, and then they are very engaging and a good community. And then in that group, try to become well known, or try to post consistently so people get to know you, and give value. Focus on giving value, and this will get people to like you. Providing value. Post inside engaging group and providing value. Because if you start, don't pitch anything in the groups. Because if you start pitching in a group, what happens is most of the time you will be kicked out of the group if it's not your group. So it's best to always give value, and when someone connects, try to connect with the same person over and over. And then if you think that person is your ideal client, so you need to know who your ideal client is. And when you know your ideal client, it's easier to engage with them. Now you select those people, and then you engage with them more and more. Then you can even DM them, direct message them on Facebook, or friend them, and then you can communicate with them separately apart from the group. So that's the idea. Be responsive. So don't ignore if someone asks a question or something, and collaborate with others. Building relationships, focus on them. When you're one thing when you're communicating with other people, say for example, you have 3 or 4 people communicating with you at the same time on Facebook, try to focus on one person at a time rather than jumping from one to another. Then they will understand that you are not fully focused on them. People like to get the attention. People like to get 100% focus on them. So if you give 100% focus to them, then they will give 100% focus to you, and then you might be able to convert them to a client. Don't worry about converting 10. Worry about converting 1 at a time. So if you focus 100% on the person who you are dealing with at that moment, you might be able to convert that person. But if you keep jumping from one to another, thinking, oh, the other person might be more interested, then you might not be able to sell to any person. So that's how you build the trust, and try to build the trust. The building the trust depends on how much value you give. If you try to keep things inside and give only half of it, it's not going to help. But if you start giving value without worrying about anything, without keeping it to yourself, if you share everything, then they will trust you more and they will connect with you more. The thing is, you can't share everything within a short period. And if you're messaging someone, you can't share everything within a message. So even if you tell them everything you know, they're not going to grasp everything. So don't worry about telling, oh, my course, this is all I got. If I tell them everything, what am I going to sell? You will have a lot of things to sell. So it's, if you give everything away, they will only take maybe 20%, 10% of it, and then they will feel like you gave a lot, and they will want to connect with you. They will want you to do a one-to-one call or whatever, or join a group or a community that you have. So that's why when building trust, don't keep anything. Even if you lose the sale, don't think about the sale too much. Think about helping them, and they will definitely you'll be able to close them very easily. Okay, now comes to the closing. The interesting part, creating a value stack. I'm sure you guys know this, but I'm just going through them so that it's like a reminder, right? We all need reminders. We all know everything. The problem is we want to be reminded. We know we need to lose weight, we need to eat healthy, but we don't most of the time. So creating value stack. So when it comes to a value stack, when you're pricing, you need to justify the price, right? So for them to understand why you're pricing this much, if you have a value stack saying, okay, what I give is this, okay, I'm going to give you a call, one-to-one call to start with, and that equals to this, the value of that is this much. And then you say, okay, I'm going to share the course with you, a 3 months course, or you're going to be, whatever you have. So that's this much. And you're going to be joining my private community, and that's worth this much, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to share an ebook or whatever, and that's worth this much. And then you add everything together and then show the value, the total value. But if you purchase it now, I'm going to give it to for this much kind of thing. So if the whole value is, say, I don't know, 10K or something, but if you buy it now, it'll be 997. So it makes sense if you provide the value stack in a way that it will make sense to that the ideal client, then they're more likely to buy. But if you don't show them, the idea is when they see something, they're more likely to understand rather than saying it. So you have to show it. Okay, this is this, you get this for this much, right? Then you have to create the an irresistible offer. So that is the irresistible offer. It's worth 10K, but you're giving it for I don't know, 997 or whatever. So you have to have all these set up so it becomes so easy when it comes to closing. And for any person to purchase something, you need to create an urgency. That's vital, because otherwise they're not going to bother. They're going to think, oh, I can do it later. And then they put it off for later, and then they will never do it. Procrastination is the biggest problem we all have, right? So therefore, you need to put some urgency, but don't create any fake urgencies, but create an urgency that is real. Say, if you can only have a certain number in a group, and if you're doing a group call, you can say, I can only take 20, and therefore, after the 20, I won't be able to take any more, kind of thing. The mindset, when it comes to closing, mindset is very important. The closing happens in your head before it happens in your dream clients, right? So you have to assume the close. The idea is, if you're providing so much value, and if you think your dream client needs it, then you have to give it to them, right? That's why you need to find out about the dream client really well, and if that person really needs what you're selling. So these things connect together, and if that person needs what you're giving, then you have to give it. Otherwise, you're doing a disservice if you know they need it and if you're not giving it. So that's a disservice. So you have to have that in your mind, and then you have to know that they need it and they will take it. You have to believe in yourself and your product and your service. And another thing is, when you're creating a course or a mastermind or a group call or one-to-one call, the value of your product or service should always be more than the price you're charging. Otherwise, what happens is you will have some guilt inside you, and when it comes to the closing, you will struggle to give the price. You'll be like, it's 997 kind of thing. But if you are really confident that the value you're giving is much more than 997 or whatever it is, say if it's a $5,000 course, and if you know that you're providing 15 grand worth value, you'll be happy to share that, saying it's only 5 grand. So when you say it, they will know that, wow, this is so much valuable. This is so cheap kind of thing. This is really good. And they will feel the value. But if you are in your head, if you have a feeling that this is overpriced, then you're going to transfer that into the other person like an energy. So they will feel the energy and they will be like, let me think about it. Let me come back to you, right? So that's why. And another thing is assume close within and serving. So you have to focus on serving them. So when you're talking to them, you need to think about, you need to focus on how can I help them to overcome their problem, more than how can I get their money, or more than how can I push this so that they will buy my product. No, you have to focus on, do they really need it? How can I give it to them so that they will benefit from them? So that's what you need to focus on. When you focus on helping others, you're not going to worry too much about the sale, and the sale will happen automatically. Trust me, it happens so much better. It's so easy when you're focusing on helping others. But if the moment you start focusing on the numbers, the money, the revenue, then it becomes so hard, because now you are creating a boundary. There's no boundary. It's a one-to-one. It's a win-win scenario. So you are trying to win, at the same time you're trying to make the other person win. So when it's a win-win scenario, it's easy, right? Assume close, focus on the results for the clients. So when you're talking about when you're trying to close, and when you're talking about your products, talk about all your services, talk about the results more than the features. I'm sure you guys know about the difference between the features and the results. So if someone wants to lose weight, they don't care about what they have to do, right? So focus on that. So focus on losing weight and how they will look like after losing the weight and going to the beach in summer or whatever. So focus on that and talk about that, not you have to wake up early in the morning and then do this and this and this and this, and then that will give you this result. So if they don't want to know about the process, they're not interested about the process, they're only interested about the result. So sell the result and focus on the result. Closing and what next? So the closing, so once you assume the close, so talk about what happens next, assuming the close has happened already. So now another thing is like when you are asking about the close, don't ask them whether you like it or not. Don't ask them, would you like to buy? What do you think? So those are not very good questions. Rather than asking, what do you think? Would you like to buy? Kind of thing. So what you ask is, would you like to start tomorrow or day after tomorrow? Or would you like the green one or the red one? So you give options, but the option, would you like to pay with a MasterCard or a Visa card? So now you have assumed the close. Now what you're doing is you're giving them a different option. You're asking a different question. You're diverting them from a buying decision to a MasterCard or Visa card decision. So it's about which card would you like to pay with, an Amex card or whatever. So it's a different question, but you have assumed the close. So you're saying, okay, so when would you like to start? Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or next week, kind of thing. So these are very good questions. Don't ever ask, would you like to buy it or not, kind of thing, right? So the puppy dog close is, I'm sure you guys all know this. This can be used in most instances because if you get them to feel your product, if you give them the opportunity to, experience your services, then they're more likely to like it and stick with it. And this puppy dog close, I'm sure you've all heard it, but I'll just say it if in case no one's heard, if there's anyone who hasn't heard it. So you go, the kids say to the parents, say, oh, I want a puppy, I want a puppy, I want a puppy. And then they go to the dog, the pet shop, right? And then they go to the pet shop owner, and then they were like, this pet shop owner is a very good salesperson. So he goes, okay, take this puppy away for the weekend, keep the puppy for the weekend, and Monday you can bring the puppy back if you don't like. There's no cost, you don't have to pay anything, right? Now they take the puppy home and then they spend the weekend with the puppy, and the puppy is lovely. Everyone loves the puppy, and on Monday they come and pay because they don't want to return the puppy, right? It's the same thing. So you need to create a scenario where you give the experience, let them experience it. Once they experience it, wow, this, maybe you have 20, like I said, 20 modules in your course. And if that's the case, you let them experience first module for free. And they will be like, wow, first module is this good. I'm gonna purchase this course. This is really good. So you get them to taste it a little bit, not the whole thing. Or you have a one-to-one call or something, maybe a 15-minute call. I know it takes time, but initially you have to spend more time with your clients to get clients. After you get a few clients, then it's easy. If you're providing so much value, you can get clients through clients. So you can get some testimonials, and then you can get a lot of more clients from them. You can ask them. You have to ask them, oh, can you recommend this to someone else? Or who would you think would need this? And they will tell you, but you need to ask. So that's about the closing. So that's about the presentation. And I've got something, like I said, to offer you guys for free. Actually, it's a free 7-day trial. So let me just move on to that and explain that as well. So special free trial. So with this, what we do is we only have a few spots left, right? So if you want to register, my colleague will share the link. So what happens is with this, you get a call with me. It's a clarity call. So if you have questions about your niche, about your dream clients, we dig deeper into that, and then we clarify everything so that we can focus on them. And then We do the audience research for you. We do the copywriting. We create engaging posts. So we design posts. If you have a logo, we go by your logo. If you don't have a logo, we will create a logo for you. That comes with this. And we will edit 7 to 10 videos within this period. My team will do that for you. So if you got like a 10-minute video, maybe 15-minute video, what we will do is we will create. There's an internet problem. Okay, so we will create shorts using those videos. We'll put captions and hashtags, and we will post them on your platforms. So we will get access to your platforms, up to 4 platforms. So it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Those are the platforms that we normally work on during the free trial because it's easier for us to manage. And we post it for you. So we manage the content for you. And this is all done free of charge. So that this is like a puppy dog close, basically, right? What we are trying to do is we are trying to let you experience what we do. And if you like our services, you can carry on. We have 4 packages starting with $297. That's the lowest package for coaches. Most of the coaches go with the 297 package, or the next package is, I think it's 697 or 597, I can't remember. So, but this first package is a good start for you guys. But so I'm giving a free trial. So it's a 7-day free trial. But when you sign up, it says 10 days because we need a couple of days for us to get all the details, book the clarity call, and get the setup and create the content. So therefore, let me see if yeah. So my colleague has shared that. So if you want to register as soon as you can, because we've only got a few slots left. We had a lot of people signed up yesterday, so we only have about 3, I think, left. So if you guys want to sign up, please do so. So we do the campaign setup. So one thing is you can experience and see how it's done. And if you don't want to continue, you can follow the same process. So if you're not sure how to do this, you can, learn it, and then you can do the same thing. If you want us to continue, because the idea of this is you're going to save a lot of time, right? Like I said on one of my videos, I said, if you were to create posts, editing videos, if you have done it, I'm sure you know how long it takes, how annoying it is, right? And posting on 4 different platforms takes 2 or 3 hours a day per person. So we are taking everything, we are saving 2 or 3 hours per day for you, and we are doing everything for you. What you have to do is book the clarity call with us. So that will take 45 minutes. And that will take 45 minutes of your time. And the other thing is you will save a lot of time, and you will have to do a video, maybe 10-minute or 15-minute video for us to edit the videos. If you have done already videos, then we can edit them. And if you're not a person who fancies videos, what we can do is we can create So yeah, we can create videos without your video, but most of the time we recommend you to create some sort of video using your phone or something. Then we can edit those videos and we can upload them to your platforms. So that's the offer I have. You can ask any questions on this offer if you have anything to ask. And now after this, Cindy, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm assuming that you're familiar with the EMF. I'm assuming that you're familiar with the EMF course.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So so I'm thinking obviously for the a product like this to help me with my EMF, but I'm really at the beginning of my journey with my EMF business. So I haven't even set up my platforms or anything. So do you have, like you said, 297, is that a monthly 297, or what is the 297 monthly? Do you have like a setup fee, like an initial starter setup for someone like me?
No, we don't charge any for like someone like you. We don't charge any setup fees. It's done free of charge. So if you
Okay,
don't,
so you get us on board and then it's 297 a month.
correct, yeah. So once you get on board, what we have, most of the time, if you are in the initial stages, we might need to book a couple of calls, which is fine as well. So most of the time it will be me, but if I'm not available, my manager will take care of the call, and she's as good as me. So she will take you through the process, and we need to set up the channels or the platforms. And they have to be done by you because it has to connect with your email address. And then there might be authentication done at the start. So once it's all set up, it doesn't take long. It'll take 5 minutes. Once you set it up, we can, do all the bits and bobs, like, uploading pictures to it, and then the description and hashtags and things like that. It's not a big deal for us to do them, because we know that most of our clients, the idea of this is once they come in, when they see that it's working, they stick with us. So we are not scared to provide value. So we know it's going to work, and then so we can do set up the platforms. There's not a problem at all. 297. Let me see if I can actually share the website. It's so if you go to my
I have another question. So assuming that, I mean, from my understanding, you do all help us with the content on, and I mean, not the necessarily content, but how to put the content onto the platforms. So the idea is to get our ideal client. Have you got a tool that allows us to manage things like a dashboard, or do you just get an email address that we have to manage with CRM, or how does it work from there once we engage?
We use tools to manage, but you mean a tool for you to engage with us or engage with your clients?
The clients. So I have had another product shown to me where they do exactly what you do, like help with exactly what we do, but they've got like a tool that kind of it's like a dashboard that it shows you like your CRM and your list of emails and who to call, and like how to manage your contact once you've got the contact.
We use a tool. We use a few tools, but that's for us. We don't have a tool for our clients at the moment, but maybe we can look to do something like that. But at the moment, we don't have anything like that. But what we normally do is when we get the engagement, we do the initial engagement. We get in touch with them, like say, if we see some sort of engagement, we don't ignore them. I have a few people working. So what we do is we start engaging with them. And if we think that this person is engaging more and more, what we do is we tell the clients, okay, this person might be your ideal client. So try to get in touch. And this person is on Facebook or something like that. So that's something that we do. Another thing we do is we have a WhatsApp group with the clients. So what we do is in the WhatsApp group, so it'll be you, me, my manager, and the content manager. So the 4 of us will be in one group. So you can communicate 24/7 with us. So you can ask questions. We drop anything to do with your clients or to do with your content in that WhatsApp group. So it's like a private community, but not with other clients. So it'll be you, me, the 2 managers. So it'll be 4 of us. So for every client, we have this group set up so that they can communicate, and different people join, like work from different geographical locations. So, for example, I've got people working from Sri Lanka, people working from the UK and Europe. So they cover the whole 24/7 that way.
Okay. And then, so you were talking about pointing your ideal client towards a certain page or Facebook business page or something. So I have a domain name, but I haven't got my page set up. So would you help with integrating that?
We can set up a page. There is a cost for that. So if it's a funnel, we can create a funnel for you. And if it's a website, we can create a website for you. I've got a development team which we can use to set up a website. They normally do it within 30 days, given that you provide all the information. If it's a funnel, we can do it within 14 days. So that's that will be an extra cost that doesn't come with it. But the platforms, we can set it up for you. That's no problem.
Okay, I understand. So assuming that I engage with platforms, I get my contact, then I would move my contacts onto my own customer CRM, right? And manage it there.
Yeah, I think the best way is if you have a platform, say a funnel, you have the funnel link on all the platforms saying, join me or join my community or join my group or whatever. And then through the funnel, you take everyone to wherever you want them to be. And then with the funnels, you can create an email sequence and then send them emails frequently. So this is something you need to, well, we can help you setting it up. And this is very, this works really well because they have come to you and they have liked you. So they have connected with you. And then when you send emails, giving value, asking questions. So these emails also need to be different, not always talking about your product, but giving value slowly and building up that to the sales process, basically.
Okay, so if the content is posted to different platforms, are you saying that I can manage all of those contacts in one platform? So say it's TikTok, Twitter, and whatever, they can all be pointed to Facebook page, and I can or I create my little community in the, no, not a little, a big community in my Facebook page, and I can manage everything out of that one place.
Yes, that's the idea. So you need to be in one place and we will take care of the rest and then divert them into, say, your Facebook group. And it's a private Facebook group, right?
Yeah.
So you manage that and you only worry about that. And if anyone else asks a question, we will say, okay, we will divert them to that place, basically. So that's the idea, yes.
Okay, great. I see how you can save time like that. Otherwise it gets so disparate where you're kind of juggling so many platforms at the, at a time. Thank you very much.
Thank
you. That's great.
You're welcome. Anyone else, any other questions about this? We will jump into the questions after this as well. So the Q&A is after this, but you can ask any questions now with regards to the offer and with regard to any questions you have. We had a few questions sent. I will go through those questions first, if you guys don't have any questions. So how to not be pushy but still sell? That was a question, and I think that's a great question because we don't want to push, we want to pull people. So that's what we do. So for that, we need to provide more and more value. And like I said, that having providing more value than the price you're charging helps you get there. So when you're providing more value all the time, try to give as much value as possible. That will always bring you more clients. So that's the secret recipe, if I may. So try to give as much value as possible and then get clients. Once you get a few clients and ask them for testimonials, this will help a lot. And I've got a lot of good testimonials, and yeah, I will share one with you guys in a minute. So these kind of testimonials, and these are really authentic ones. It's not like, you know, they're thinking about it, so they're just giving their opinion. So these will help you get more and more clients. So focus on one person and get that person, sell that person. Once you sell it to that person, then you can get more clients through that person. So pulling is when you provide so much value, they will come to you rather than you will have to push if your price is higher than the value. You're like, oh, please buy, try it out, blah, blah, blah. But if you know that your value is higher than the price, you don't have to push so hard, right? So that's that. Tips on creating a good copy. So there are artificial intelligence tools that you can use, but don't use them as they are. You generate the copy, but change it in a way that it becomes like a human, so that the SEO will work better. Because if you're just using artificial intelligence tools, they're not going to work really well. So we use them, but we edit them accordingly. And the paid versions are better than the free ones as well. How to build a following from scratch quickly is another question. So consistency is the secret. So you have to start posting, you have to have channels across multiple channels, and then you need to start posting consistently, and then the algorithm starts working. Initially, it's going to go really slow, and then it's going to pick up after a few weeks or so. Yeah, we can, well, if you guys book a call with me, I will show you, I will share screens and show you the YouTube, how they picked up after a few days and after a couple of weeks, and it goes really fast after that. Once you get to a certain stage, it goes really fast, but until then, it's really, really slow. What is engaging content? I think I covered that. What kind of content should I create? Yeah, those were the questions. Any other questions? You can just unmute and ask if you have any questions.
No questions, but thank you so much for your time and information tonight.
No problem, Kat. Thank you. So, yeah, yesterday we had a lot of questions actually. Today is, well, it's less people as well, I guess that's why. But yeah, if you guys don't have any more questions, we'll wind it up. So I will share the link on in the group as well. So if you guys want to register, I'm not sure if we still have spots left, but if we do, then once you register, book the call with me, and then we will have the clarity call. Once the clarity call is done, we will send you a questionnaire to fill so that you give the details, and then we go forward from there. We start posting in 3 days' time, basically, across your channels, and then you will see the difference. Okie dokie. Let's call it a day. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. It was nice talking to you, everyone. Take care.